All right, in this AIMS review, we're going to be reviewing the various types of cells and cell processes. So first, we're going to compare and contrast a eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. So prokaryotes are usually smaller in size. Eukaryotes are usually larger in size. Remember that prokaryotes are going to be the type of cell that has evolved first. Eukaryotes evolved later or after prokaryotes. The types of organisms that make up prokaryotes are going to be your bacteria, and eukaryotes are going to be animals and plants like you. Some other differences is that prokaryotes do not have a nucleus and eukaryotes do. They both contain DNA, they both contain a cell membrane, and they both contain ribosomes. Next, we're going to talk about the two types of eukaryotic cells. There are plants and animals, and we're going to go over just some of the basic organelles within each type of cell. So first, let's talk about a ribosome. A ribosome is found in both animal and plant cells and helps to make proteins. A lot of times we find ribosomes on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or the RER. You also have a smooth ER with a different function. So these ribosomes are going to be on the endoplasmic reticulum and help with protein synthesis. We also have a mitochondrion, which is singular for mitochondria. Mitochondria, once again, are found in both a plant and animal cell, and their job is to create ATP energy. The nucleus is where DNA is held, and remember that DNA is the blueprint for life. And what exactly does that mean? Well, it's the code for every single protein that organism makes. One of the unique organelles only found in a plant cell is going to be a chloroplast. And the job of a chloroplast is going to be to go through photosynthesis and be able to create glucose for the plant cell. We don't find that in animal cells because animals need to actually eat food. They don't actually make food like plant cells do. Another thing that's in a plant cell and not an animal cell is called a central vacuole. Now, animal cells have vacuoles, but they're usually much smaller. Plant cells have a very large central vacuole that helps them hold water and keep them upright and rigid. One more thing that a plant cell has that an animal cell doesn't is a cell wall. A cell wall is kind of like a cell membrane in that it's on the outside of the cell, but the cell wall is actually more for support. An animal cell just has a cell membrane, not a cell wall. So both cells actually have cell membranes, but plant cells have cell walls on top of that. We also have the cytoplasm, which is just the fluid inside the cell. The Golgi complex, which is going to help modify proteins. Centrioles are only found in animal cells and help with mitosis. So let's focus in on the mitochondria and the chloroplast, because these two things carry out cellular respiration and photosynthesis. So first, let's talk about photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is going to take place in a chloroplast inside a plant cell. Remember, chloroplasts are not found in animal cells. And what happens is basically those plant cells use sunlight and water to create, and carbon dioxide, to create oxygen and glucose. Glucose, remember, is sugar. So this is a sugar that then the plant is going to use in cellular respiration. So first we have to go through photosynthesis, where we use sunlight energy, water, and carbon dioxide to actually create glucose and oxygen. That's the byproduct of it. And then glucose gets used up in the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is found in both plant and animal cells, and the mitochondria uses the oxygen and glucose to create ATP energy. And its waste product is carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide can actually then be reused by the chloroplast and go through photosynthesis again. So you can see it's kind of one giant loop there that goes around and around. So if we look at this in the environment, we know that animals go through respiration. Okay, they're breathing out water and carbon dioxide, or they're breathing out carbon dioxide and also creating water. And then photosynthesis is going to use the water and carbon dioxide along with sunlight energy to create sugar and oxygen. The oxygen can be released into the atmosphere for the animals to breathe in, or the oxygen can be used inside of the plant to go through cellular respiration. So it's just one giant loop going over and over and over again. It's really important to understand the reactants and products of each one of these reactions. So when we look at the chloroplast, once again, it needs to use sunlight energy, water, and carbon dioxide, and it creates, or the products are, glucose and oxygen. Mitochondria, which makes ATP energy, uses glucose and oxygen to create that ATP energy and carbon dioxide. So those are the products. Make sure that you have filled out your entire worksheet. You can rewatch the video again if you need to get any more information.